Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 3 and now we want to presentation our topic about non-press. In group 3, me, Amina Fadila, and my friend Fauzana Khairiati and Haladi Busra. First, introduction, background. The meaning of noun can be more precise by the words immediately before or pre-modifying words or after it, post-modifying words. These words and the noun together are called the noun phrase. Pre-modifying word can help you to describe the noun, and post-modifying words and phrases can be effective in connecting your noun to your next idea. Careful use of noun phrases is an economical way of conveying complex and detailed information. To purpose. To explain that the noun phrase in a sentence can be formed from pre-modifying and post-modifying to describe the various components of noun phrase. Uh, now, the slide will read by Ahladi Busra.
Thank you, Dina. Well, I will present our group material. First, article in general. At the description includes the indefinite articles and are research to introduce a general idea or to refer to an definite example of anything. Whereas the definite article is also to refer to a definite thing, either when there is only one is existence or when the reader or listener know which specific thing we are referring to. And now commit is to be set up by the government to consider press regulation. Next, particular use of a or an and the or no article to be hour of air. A geographical names, countries, mountains differ. The expression such, such as meals and or times a day or week or month. Or C means of transport by car or train. The place is set in a general sense, or the number of people and work or at university. A. The government, the police, the media, the Italians, the rich, but the rich people. F. Dictionary definition and generalizations. Or A. R. The bear is an animal that bears are animals that next. Second, article with uncountable nouns. A number of common nouns such as weather, money, information are described as uncountable because they have no plural form. We can or we cannot normally use a or an which just nouns or add s to 10. Tip. There is a group of uncountable nouns which already end in s and are followed by singular verbs. Before the era of the current politics was as a profession to enter once you had already followed another form of employment for a number of years. Some nouns which are usually countable can be countable with used with different and more specific meaning. Relevant experience is normally required for most jobs, but the total fall of 20, 20,000 suggested that uh, that for 14 40% of Americans had or know of someone who had had an expression of UFO activity, an expression, uh, an incident one in one's life. Next, note that uncountable nouns can be count, or spared by general words and phrases such as a piece of evidence or a fish, and an item of information or clothing or specific nouns, a grain of rice, a strand of hair, and conference normally takes place in the newsroom to define which item of news will let the evening broadcast. Next, quantifiers, all money sum describe nouns in terms of quantity, or when used with definite nouns, phrases, or the answer, or they are normally followed by of some of the answer. In this section, they are divided into three groups. First, all, both, each, every. All is used with countable and uncountable nouns. Example, the Labour Party majority was reduced its time in all three of the election that Tony Blair won. Both is used with plural uncountable nouns. Example, both of the bills were defeated by a large majority. Next, each and every refer to individual members of a group and are used with singular countable nouns. Example, each one of the symphonies movements depicts a different season in the year. Each because of the focus on separate parts. Every student passed the final examination after following this method. Every because of a focus on all. Next, second, money, much, some, few, little, enough. Money is used with plural countable nouns and much with uncountable nouns. Example, the artifacts discovered by Howard Carter and his team were able to provide scholars with a great deal of information on the practice of royal burial. Some combines with uncountable and plural countable nouns to indicate a moderate amount or number. Some information, some numbers. Example, some psychologists have argued that happiness is governed by factors outside our control. The implication is that we are other scholars who take a different view. A few with countable nouns and a little with uncountable nouns. Example, few and little without the indefinite article mean not money. Next, example, few critics were impressed by the staging of the opera, and this was reflected in the following day's reviews. You can ask enough before countable and uncountable nouns can be modified with just more thought, not merely and quick. Example, some commentators believe that there have been more than enough opportunities for Parliament to debate the death penalty without introducing a new bill. Next, uh, any either neither no or noun, as well as being used in question and negative structure. Any can suggest if there is any or in those matter which positive sentence which countable or uncountable nouns. Example, any opposition to the new water scheme is likely to come from local farmers who have traditional take as much water as they like from the reservoir. In noun phrases, either and neither are used with singular nouns and verb to talk about groups of two. Example, the river could be dammed or diverted, but neither option is without in rates. You can ask no in a noun process as a more emphatic form of not any. Example, three were no head argument and they talked, but neither was a firm agreement on the way forward. Note that in formal English, none of a plural noun is followed by a singular verb. Example, none of, not none of, or not one of the factories concerned has a full health and safety inspection. Next,
Next, we'll read by Riri. By Riri is this.
Okay, I would like to present about adjective plus nouns. Pro-modifying nouns with compound adjective, adverb adjective combination, and combinated adjectives are an effective way of conveying information economically, normally avoiding a clause. 1. Compound adjectives. Compound adjectives usually hyphenate uh, before nouns can be formed in a number of ways. One, adjective plus past or present participle, for example, ready-made and best-selling. Next, adjective plus nouns, for example, free market, high-tech, and right-wing. For example, the architect Mary Mary Changwa commended for her cutting-edge hospice design. Next. The next, noun plus noun, adjective or past or present participle. For example, smoke-free and peacekeeping. Example 1. Year-end bonuses for bankers have become a contentious issue since the banking crisis of 2008. Next, an element of performance-led pay is appropriate to some professional situation. And the next is past participle plus adverb like paid up, screened off, and left over. For example, exhausting negotiation and tired participants often lead to poor decision. Next. 2. Adverb plus adjective combination. Adverbs can combine with adjectives, with past participle, and with present participles. For example, a hotel in Bordeaux is significantly cheaper to run than a comparably sized establishment in Paris. 3. Coordinated adjective. Link by and give two dimensions to the description of a noun. Sometimes the description is made more inclusive by mentioning opposite, and sometimes the second adjective is fairly similar to the first. For example, 1. Long-term unemployment can affect a person's mental and physical health. 2. Juries in fraud cases are often presented with complex and technical information. Next. The next is nouns plus nouns. A noun can pre-modify another noun by acting like an adjective. For example, a full coat, a fur coat. Example, few government measures have raised as much public opposition as the poll tax of 19 and 1889. Nouns plus nouns can combine nouns to suggest a variety of relationships. One such, for example, shell glass, shell gas, same with gas that comes from shell. 2. Purpose. Defense system means systems that are used for defense. 3. Specialization. For example, accounts manager. Same with a manager who is in charge of account. 4. Composition. For example, lead walls. Same with walls made for lead. 5. Content. For example, linguistic essay. Same with an essay about linguistic. 6. Location. For example, back pain. Same with pain in the back. 7. Time. For example, weekend job. Same with a job that take place at the weekend. Thank you.
Okay, next is about nouns and prepositional phrases. Certain nouns are followed by particular prepositions, sometimes more than one, and this pattern needs to be learned. Here is a selected list of nouns and their prepositions arranged by prepositions. Nouns that are related to each other in meaning are given first in boxes as a memory aid and the other nouns follow in alphabetical order. 1 plus 4. Example, appetite, demand cast, motivation, reason, advertisement, application, basis, also basis of, need, preference, request, respect, substitute. For example sentence, in the latest poll, a majority of those taking part expressed a preference for the first past the post electoral system. If both sides on the negotiating table are looking for a settlement, then there is normally the basis for or of a potentially fruitful discussion. 2 plus in. The example word is decrease, drop, fall, reduction, increase, rise, belief, change, also change to, and interest. Example, there was a sharp rise in inflation in the first quarter of 2009. Changes in or to the way that export licenses are granted are likely to be made at the end of the year. 3 plus into. The example word is inquiry, investigation, research, or also research on or in, insight, also insight on, plus into. Example, research into or on or in social work practice indicates that time spent face-to-face with clients is falling significantly. Studies of chimpanzees can provide an insight into our own human behavior. 4 plus of. The example word is analysis, examination, exploration, also examination or explore. Example, type means method, way, cause, description, dozens, experiences, also experience in, idea, importance, knowledge, lack or shortage, level, opinion, part, risk, study, also study into, and 15. Example, an analysis of the data shows which illnesses are likely to be exacerbated by stress. All of the team had previous experience of or in high altitude climbing. Note that 3 and 4 above, the prepositions into can suggest a deeper analysis and examination of the photo, but an examination of or into the cause of the conflict. 5 plus on. The example word, article, assignment, book, dissertation, essay, lecture, project, attack, also attack against, bomb, emphasis, expert also in anthrax. Example, some commentators see a ban on smoking in open air spaces such as parks as the logical next step. Note that above can follow article, book, essay, lecture, and project, but sounds less precise and more informal. 6 plus 2. Approach, alternative, answer, attention, image, introduction, response, right. Example, protesters argue that wine farms cause visual damage to the environment. The right to silence on the part of a suspect is integral to some legal system. 7 plus towards or to. The example word is move, movement, progress, attitude. Example, progress towards meeting in the provisions of the Kyoto Agreement has been worrying slow. Some police forces take a more lenient attitude to or towards the possession of soft drugs for personal use. And the last, nouns plus nouns clauses. Look at these two sentences. The serious issues that the inquiry has raised may lead to the new laws. The fact that the inquiry raises a number of serious issues should surprise no one. The bold part of the first sentence is a relative clause that could be left out or replaced by which. Using a relative clause is a useful way of modifying a noun, in this case issues. The bold part of the second sentence is different. It is a noun clause which completes the meaning of the fact that cannot be left out or replaced. A helpful way of looking at this sentence may be to regard the noun and its clause as a single complex idea controlling the main verb. This is another example. The belief that an industrial dispute can be resolved without some form of negotiation sometimes cause long and avoidable delays. Many of the journalists present at the press conference were dismissive of the statements that the police had investigated the matter thoroughly. The warning that sea levels could rise significantly even after a small earth tremor was taken seriously, and several coastal villages were evacuated. The experiment was designed to test the hypothesis that members of the public will tend to follow the instructions of authority figures even when these will appear to conflict with their normal values. Okay, thank you. That's all from our presentation. Sorry for our mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.